Hello, supermen, superwomen, and super non-binaries. This is Super D.
This is General Modi.
Oh, damn.
That actually works.
Sick Matt. The villain. Sick of my thing.
And we are talking, this is the Animazing podcast, and we are talking about the amazing finale of My Adventures with Superman, episodes, the last one, and the 2 episodes before the last one. What did you guys think?
So I think I'm just overall I'm just like that's just pretty much my overall feeling of it for these last 3 episodes.
Again,
what about you, Matt?
I liked it. I liked it. But I mean, like, it was. Yeah, I liked it. I don't know.
God, Modi, like I'm getting the feeling that if a superhero property doesn't have wife beating, you're not into it. Like, you like My Hero, you like Invincible, you like The Boys. I'm starting to see a disturbing pattern here.
Wow, you just made me realize you're right. That has to be it.
Okay, so
that's got to be it.
So, okay, for me, I also liked the last couple of episodes. So I enjoyed the final fight between Superman and the not Suicide Squad. I liked Superman going crazy from caffeine addiction. That scene spoke to me thoroughly.
I think for a finale, I think it was fine. For some reason, I think I was expecting something a bit like more grand, I guess, but I don't, because there was like that weird thing with the whole thing with Parasite. I thought that was the last episode at first, and I realized, like, wait, no, there's another episode left.
Yeah, same.
And then we went out, like, that whole, like, Krypton plot of them, like, accidentally triggering the invasion thing, I guess. Which is fine. I think it's good. I mean, it makes sense for, like, to, like, bring that kind of arc to a close of, like, Superman's whole worrying about being a killing machine. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of was expecting the General to be Lois's dad.
Yeah, I thought he was. As soon as I saw him, the first thing that came to my mind was like, "Oh, look, it's Lois's dad." I don't know why I was suspecting that the moment I saw this dude.
I was not expecting that, as usual. I never see these kinds of things coming, so yeah.
Nice. So I will say, for me personally, okay, this is weird. So, Modi, you being a Suicide Squad fan, how did you feel about this incarnation of the team?
I guess they're really bad because I didn't even realize they were supposed to be like, a Suicide Squad remake or whatever. Like, wait, who? I don't even know who you're talking about, actually. Who is it that's supposed to be Suicide Squad?
All the villains so Suicide Squad isn't a specific team. It's just like the whole, like, it could be interchanged with literally anybody, but pretty much all it is Waller taking a bunch of criminals, forcing them to do her work by putting, like, bombs in their necks and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, none of them really stood out to me. The only one that stood out to me was the purple guy. Is that Parasite?
Yeah,
yes.
Parasite, yeah.
And the only reason he stuck out to me because I think he's, like, really lame and his character design sucks. And I was, like, annoyed every time he was on screen.
You scumbag! He was, like, one of my favorite designs in this. How dare you?
Really? That's surprising coming from you. Like, based on the types of character designs you do, I'd be surprised. I'm surprised that you liked it because it's just so bland. It's just like purple all around.
I don't know about the bland thing. Like, they were clearly going for a more, like, Evangelion type style, like, very anime. Like, whereas Parasite normally is just a big purple guy.
Okay, you know why I like it so much? Because I hated the Evangelion mech designs, and when I saw them, the first thing that came to me was like, that's how those things should have freaking looked. Oh my god! It's literally repressed trauma of me just like... Cause I don't know if I told you guys this, but the whole reason I watched Evangelion was because I was trying to, like, impress a girl. And the entire time I was just thinking to myself, like, why am I watching this? Oh my god, these mechs are so lame. Like, seeing what,
God
in my
dang.
opinion, could have made these things look way like. I feel like Parasite in this. A, his design is way better in my opinion than the original comic. B, I always like the idea of just taking a comic book character and just mechanizing them. And C, it on top of the whole Evangelion thing, it feels like something I would it feels like an idea I would have come up with, but would have done more passes on.
Okay, I just looked up Parasite's like other designs, like in comics and stuff, and this I think I can say that this one in My Adventures with Superman is easily the worst one out of all of them.
Oh.
I just don't get it. Like, why would they go from something like pretty good to this? Like, I just don't see
Well,
it.
you'll notice that if you look up any of the villains, their designs are like a bit different. Because one thing I think that this show did, which on one hand I think was clever, but also kind of a detriment, was all of the supervillains are based off of Kryptonian tech. So a lot of their like designs borrow from like the same kind of like design style because they're like it's all from the same technology, and like that was a good way to kind of tie them in thematically, which I thought they did like a pretty good job with. It's just like it also makes some of the designs a little bit samey. But I think for the main villains, they were different enough. It was just like I wasn't a fan of the robots in general. Like they were very much a thing that Superman can punch without like moral implications.
That's it's so funny. We have completely opposite opinions here. I thought if anything, the robots were what looked cool.
Wow.
And I was disappointed that the robots were just like bot NPCs, right? I wanted like it would have been cool if like one of them was an actual like person or whatever.
Well, that's kind of what part of my critique about it is that they weren't really like they were just like kind of video game enemies to defeat.
Yeah.
Even being like 3D and all that.
Okay.
I feel like you're gonna like Brainiac if we ever reviewed the second season of this, because I feel like that's exactly what they're setting him up to be.
Yeah.
Who?
Brainiac. He was the guy at the end who's like, "Ooh, that's interesting."
Yeah.
He's looking at the other planet.
Also-
okay, I see.
Yeah.
So, moving forward from that, I will say I love how Parasite gets defeated by everyone just turning off their lights and
yeah.
everything.
This will really lend me your energy, Metropolis.
It was a
Turn off all your
reverse
lights.
spirit
No,
bomb.
It was a reverse spirit bomb. Yeah.
Actually, can you guys explain something to me? So, is the whole idea here? I guess you kind of talked about it a little bit, Matt. Is the whole idea that all the villains gained their powers because they got experimented on using tech from Superman's home planet?
No, all their powers come from just them using tech from the planet. So they just took whatever was left over from the first invasion and just turned into power armor.
Well, to be fair, Livewire still, I think that happened to her because she was able to use her powers outside, like having the gear.
Right.
Okay. And I don't know if this is like, I guess it gets into spoiler territory, but I feel like I'm probably the only one on the planet who doesn't know the plot of Superman. But like, is Krypton actually, are they actually bad? Because I'm watching Invincible right now, so for me it's like very easy to believe that they're actually evil, but I can't tell. I don't know.
Okay, so
Yeah, you go.
So they are, canonically speaking, they're pretty neutral. I don't think we usually get much like information about what Krypton is like, but I really like the idea or the implication of them being like Viltrumites. But as soon as they started invading, their planet just exploded.
So usually what it is that like Dee said, Krypton's normally like pretty neutral, and there's normally like a sect of Kryptonians that are evil. Like that's where General Zod comes in, because like he got I think in most iterations he gets banished from the planet before it explodes, so he's just like kind of chilling. But like yeah, I think normally
Remember,
they're pretty
kids.
neutral. So
Remember, kids,
Okay.
always break laws because you have a chance of avoiding planetary devastation.
you might get trapped in a weird triangle that goes out in outer space.
Also,
Yeah.
jumping forward to the whole like flashback to the initial invasion. I swear to God, these surviving soldiers like Lois's dad and like Waller,
Yeah.
they are the most disrespectful mofos ever. This man, like Nemesis Omega, this guy comes down, kills your entire unit, decimates your entire military, and you give him the coolest freaking name possible? God
so
dang! Like, if someone killed me, please, like, make sure he's called, like, Lord Poopy Hole or something like that. Because, like, listen. It's also doubly bad because if I really effed up a location and I found out they were calling me something badass like Giga Destroyer or Nemesis Ultima, like, my first instinct is like, damn, I need to go back there. I need to, like, make sure I keep this streak up. Like, when I come back, I need to make sure I go doubly hard to live up to that name. But if they were just like, oh, yeah, it's just, like, Poop Hole Man, like, damn, I wasn't respected. What I did there wasn't really all that much. I'm gonna avoid this planet from now on. They doomed that planet with that name. It's also better than his, like, it's probably better than, like, also, it's better than his normal name, because I think they're setting it up to be General Zod, but, like, General Zod, Nemesis Omega, like, crap, man, I'm changing my name easily.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. So is this guy, is Lois's dad supposed to end up being a villain?
No. So, you know when they were doing the flashback to that one Kryptonian soldier in armor, like, leading the charge and everything?
That wasn't
okay.
Yeah.
Mm. I think they're implying that is General Zod, the guy from Man of Steel.
And he's the guy at the end as well,
so,
I think, right? He's the guy at the end as well, who's talking to Brainiac?
Yeah. The guy's like, we will make Earth kneel.
Yeah.
So this guy is the guy who got exiled from planet Krypton.
Yeah, he was like, we need to save... At least, I think this is the Zack Snyder version. I don't know if this is in every version, but he was pretty much like... yeah, we're Kryptonians. We need to be more military. I don't know. He's just Omni-Man, like a Viltrumite type.
I don't know if they, but that's the interesting thing. They've changed a lot of stuff with the Superman lore with this one, so it's hard to say like what direction they're going to take them. Because again, like just to echo one of the critiques, to double down on the critique Matt had about the designs. I like that they took different approaches with a lot of the designs for the characters. I just really wish they stuck with the original color palette. Because if you, like, showed me some of the characters' designs in this and the comic book versions, I would not be able to tell they were the same characters.
They need to, like, look less... I mean, I know that's what they're going for, like, the whole, like, clinically science feel to it. But if we see these characters again in Season 2, they should really, like, personalize their outfits more.
Yeah.
Since they look less like grunts and more like specific.
I think that's part of the reason they didn't really stand out to me. Like,
Probably.
I didn't even know who you were talking about. Yeah.
Because that's normally like the strength of Suicide Squad is you have all these fucking weirdos in one group.
Yeah.
Like being forced to like interact with each other and do good stuff when they're villains. Here they're all just kind of like have the same deal going on. So it's like it kind of loses whatever charm like the Suicide Squad normally has, but I mean it's fine.
I can't believe these guys thought they were going to be able to take down Superman with no drip. Come on. Come on.
Simply drip.
Okay, another question. So, Superman, he develops super hearing. What other powers does Superman canonically have? Because at this point, I'm just like, can he just literally do anything? Like, what? And also, can he turn off the super hearing? Or is it, like,
it's
on
he can
24/7?
control it. Like I guess for others or like, but it depends on the comic. There's like some comic runs where literally he can do anything.
He can he can shoot rainbows from his fingers, and he can also spawn like 6-inch clones of himself.
That's like really dumb, like like older comics. But I think like this is like most of the powers that he has normally.
Yeah.
Okay.
He basically has the same powers as like Homelander.
I'm glad because at first when they started when he started exhibiting the power, I thought it was telepathy, and I was like, "Are you serious? Like this guy has telepathy on top of all that?" But I mean, super hearing is still pretty overpowered, but I mean, it's a lot better. It's not as as crazy as telepathy. So
Well, that's normally a weakness he has is like to magic shit because he doesn't have any like resistances whenever that happens.
what does that even mean?
I don't know, man. It's just
Is kryptonite a magic thing?
no.
So,
Yeah.
canonically speaking, kryptonite like gets rid of all of his powers and just causes a sort of constant debuff. Magic just gets rid of his defenses. So, say if you shot him with a regular bullet, it'll bounce off his chest, but if you shot him with a magic bullet, then it could probably pierce him.
Okay.
Don't even try to power skill this. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I feel like when you're dealing with Superman, you just shouldn't bother, probably.
I don't. You shouldn't do it for fiction in general, but you know what? People have fun.
You say that to a Death Battle animator right to his face.
I said they're allowed to have fun. Oh yeah, we analyzed their skills from this random Superman comic where he like jacks off and blows up a universe or something.
When he eats every single hamburger in the United States.
There was a lot of good Jimmy moments in the last few episodes. I like the whole bit where he's talking to everybody and they're all like telling him stuff.
Oh yeah,
and then the
yeah.
bit
He was really good
rich.
in the last episode. Yeah, that was so funny, but also it felt right. It felt like that doesn't surprise me.
I'll say one thing that was driving me absolutely insane, and it's always the whole thing with like, how the hell do people like buy the whole glasses disguising Clark Kent's identity? I would have given them so much respect if as soon as like Lois's dad comes to his house, comes to like Clark Kent's house, he knows immediately what's going on, and it's just him like. You try like that's the character moment. That's like you use that as the moment where they just sit down and they talk things out. Like the fact that he's like, do I know you from somewhere? Do you always wear glasses?
So, spoiler for Homecoming, real quick. Because I also kind of found this a little bit annoying because I thought Homecoming did a lot better. Where it's just like there's like a little bit of a moment where like, oh shit, your dad's the evil guy. And then, like very quickly, he figures it out, and there's like a lot of tension with that. And here it was just like the dumb kind of tropey thing where it's like, "Have I seen you before?"
And in Homecoming,
has been staring at his picture. I'm gonna assume 24/7 for the past easily month.
What makes it worse is the fact that, I mean, in Homecoming, he had even less to go on.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot her name, but like the girl's dad had even less to go on to figure out that he was, Spider-Man. Here, this guy, okay, I mean, I think we have to agree that, General Lane is absolutely garbage at his job because, like, how are you going to be like?
That's why he got demoted.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't even recognize your number one target that you literally had right in front of your face a day before, like just because he took his glasses off. Or he put his glasses on. That's insane.
You had a heart convo with him. You can't even use the confidence excuse because you had him tied up and depressed.
You know what's funny about the glasses thing? Because it's just such a, like, I don't know, maybe other people don't care. I'm sure a lot of people don't care. But to me, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're gonna do it, you could do it like, you can find some way to make it, like, understandable. Like, maybe he has some special high-tech glasses that distort what people see or something like that, right? But if you're not going to do that, then, like, I don't know, at least show me some bit of self-awareness that it's kind of ridiculous that everyone doesn't recognize him as Superman.
Give him a wig.
Give him the hat.
Like something. You know?
I mean, that's the annoying thing, because, like, he was literally face to face with him for an entire afternoon. He doesn't even change his voice.
I think I was talking before. It was a while back, but in the last review we did, I was talking about how Jimmy has got to be like, easily the smartest person, in this planet, in this world, because and it's like it kind of makes sense too how he made the $5 million so easily, because he's just dealing with toddlers everywhere he goes. He can just easily he can rip off the entire Daily Planet.
He convinced him that Twitch stream was worth $5 billion. Come on, man.
He sold Firebird off to Elon Musk.
Do you guys think I ask if you think, but you probably know, is the fact that he just got rich going to be like very important or something? Is he going to become like Superman's new bankroller like Batman does for himself or something like that? Like, is it relevant, the fact that he got rich?
Watch him do a throwaway line where he like lost all of it, like gambling.
Yeah.
That, or he just like is like a really humble rich person. Sorry, go on.
Lex Luthor cheats him out of all his money.
That would be funny too. I could see that happening too.
He bankrolls Lex Luthor, and that's how he loses it all in like the season 2 episode. Honestly, this has never happened in like the actual comics or any other medium. Like usually, Jimmy's broke as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why then, because they wanted to go for a change of pace.
Yeah.
It was a funny bit either way, but yeah, go on.
There are a few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the pacing, because I feel like, aside from me just generally not being interested in Superman as a whole, like as a story or whatever, one thing that I noticed in these last 3 episodes that like I could say was technically bad, I thought was the pacing. It kind of felt too fast. Not too fast. It's hard to say that it felt too fast, because to me it felt like a lot of the stuff that happened was just like irrelevant. But like, how do I put it? Like,
it didn't use its time well, maybe.
Maybe like, okay, you know what? I think a big part of it is the romance between between Clark and Lois. It felt like just too, I don't know, it felt rushed. I don't know if it's supposed to. Do you guys feel that way? It kind of feels like the romance is just like very rushed, and like how intense they are is like, I don't know. It feels rushed and forced to me.
So for me, I think it's kind of like the whole Batman's parents getting killed thing. I think a lot of people already expect like Superman and Lois to sort of hook up. So I guess they just were like, okay, we know this is going to happen. Everyone knows it's going to happen, so might as well get it over with. My biggest issue is the people in Metropolis are dicks. Like, this man has been, like, Superman has been literally saving them non-stop. Like, he's been going around at least, like, saving people, like, 8 times an hour. And this man causes one traffic accident with no casualties, and it's all right. And they're just, like, straight up, is this guy the bad guy? Oh, man, is Superman a menace?
That was another, thank you for reminding me. Yes, that was another thing that made me think the pacing is really bad, because like, they flipped on him so easily. Like, it was insane. Like, are you kidding me? Did anyone even actually get hurt when he crashed into that truck? Like,
well, I mean, Vicky Vale was trying hard to like smear his name.
But people turned on him before her article even came out. All of that happened. All of the events of that happened within like a couple of hours in one day. Like, it was just crazy how fast episode 8 moved.
No, that's the other thing. Like, before the whole traffic accident, everyone was like, yeah, Superman's the best. He saved my life. He's awesome. And then like, he hits a truck, he's like, damn, that Alex guy has a point, okay? Like, he's a menace.
I like how they even showed the little girl who he had just saved. Like, her lip trembles. Like, come on, are you serious? Like, come on.
I think it's definitely too much. But then again, have you guys been on Twitter where it's like, I feel like this guy took a shit too loudly, and now everyone like hates him or something.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Listen, no one's above the law, and the moment Superman jaywalked, that's when it's all goes downhill. If he can't even follow a basic law like that, what's going to stop him from killing?
I think they should have had more build up, because I think that kind of stuff was definitely rushed. Like,
Yeah.
Especially this being a 10-episode season, like having the city kind of turn on him, especially with that like an attack. I could see that happen in a season where there's like a Lex Luthor character who's like constantly kind of working against him. But yeah, as far as the romance goes too, I thought they did like enough to where I feel like they just put enough time in it. And what Dee said, where it's like they don't want to like rehash the whole like will they won't they all over again.
I'm glad they glad they didn't like draw out the will they won't they, because that's like one of my least favorite tropes ever. Yeah. But even so, it still felt like their relationship as people together just. It felt. I mean, like they're. I don't know. To me, they're acting like practically like a married couple, and like they just had their. Okay, here's another example, right, about what I mean when I say intense. Like the room full of flowers. First of all, your office. Why the office? But anyway, like the office room full of flowers for the 1 week anniversary. I was like, are you serious, Clark?
Listen, man, like, we're both used to shonen, okay? Like, we're coming from genres where the main character doesn't even acknowledge the female character until, like, 595 episodes, okay?
I also can't tell if this is just part of my anti-American bias, part of it at play here, because I do feel like if Goku did that, I would be like so hyped. I'd be like, yeah, that's right, Goku, so maybe.
No, you're not even a Dragon Ball fan. Like, I can't imagine if Luffy did this.
Yeah, like, so I don't know. Maybe part of it is my biases at play.
I feel like you could be pretty cringe, especially if it's like your first relationship with somebody. And like those things, I think can go fast. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've, like, known people who are just, like, they've met, like, for a very short time, and they're already, like, upset each other. And normally that's not, like, that's not, like, a healthy way to get into a relationship, but, I mean, it's not completely unheard of, so I don't know.
First comes love, then comes caring, then comes the restraining order.
I guess, even though it felt rushed, I feel like that's probably, like, if I were the one writing this season, I probably would have made the same decision in terms of, like, how to pace that romance, just because you need that to be there for, like, the stakes in the story and, like, overall plot and stuff. So it's not like a huge deal, but
I think it could be better, but yeah. Sorry.
Do you think it would be Do you think it would be creepy if the genders were reversed? Like, if a girl, like, if you like walk into a room and a girl just filled your entire office with flowers.
Yeah, that could definitely be. Wait.
Well, no. The key.
I was gonna say
is like do they like each other? So that stuff doesn't come off as creepy and it works.
Yeah.
If they didn't like each other and the entire time she was like grossed out by him, then I feel like that would be considered like. Hello HR, but like I think since they're into each other,
pretty much
like,
I would have given them so much money as a gag if they gave Lois a bad pollen allergy.
Wait, say that again?
I would have given them so much credit if they had like Lois Lane if they gave Lois Lane a really bad pollen allergy.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would have been funny.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized. I mean, I'm naturally going to be the negative one in Superman. So if you guys have positive things to say, go ahead. But the state of journalism in this world is just pitiful. I mean, like it's so terrible. Like, okay, first of all, since I'm going to talk about Vicky, I just kind of want to say the one good thing I got out of Superman is that I got a best girl, and that's Vicky. I love Vicky. Okay. She's my favorite character after Mixie in the series so far. But anyway, and Jimmy.
Mixie and Vic.
Yeah, but she's a terrible journalist. They all are, actually. Like, I mean, so let's get this straight. So the head guy, the chief, brings her on to like do a story that could help their newspaper or whatever, right? And she wants to investigate Superman. And she is determined to find a scoop against Superman. And then the interns are like, that's not good. Instead, you should be determined to find a scoop that's good for Superman. Like, both of them are just like so biased from the start, right?
Yeah.
So, and no one seems to question it. Like, no one is just like, Yeah, no, because to me, when they introduced the plot point that she's going to be looking for dirt on, or like she's just going to be investigating Superman, my first thought was like, why would Lois and Jimmy even have a problem with that? Because Superman is good, so if she actually investigates him, she's not going to find anything, right? But then I realized they're all they're all just coming in with their own
Also,
their
okay,
own notions of
one
what's
more
going
thing.
on. So
One more thing.
one
She
more.
was, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just one last thing, and then the cherry on top for me is the fact that she was. If you pay attention, right? So we talked about how everyone turned on Superman that day, right? That was before the article came out. But then the article came out, and when the chief was announcing that the article came out, or like when they saw that the article came out, it said that she had been promoted to like the chief editor at the Daily Planet, which means that she got that job from an unpublished article. Like she wrote up a hit piece on Superman, brought it to the chief, and the chief said, "All right, yeah, sounds good. In fact, it's so good, I'll promote you, and then we'll publish it." Like that's just so. Just like, but yeah, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Not to mention, she is desperate to find information on Superman, and she still can't see past the freaking glasses.
True.
She tracked down the one random intern from like the whole Ivo incident before she was able to figure out like, oh shit, this intern who has the same build, same facial structure, has nothing to do with Superman.
Oh, that's another thing. The build. This is just like a random thing, but it annoys me personally. Again, sorry for being so negative. It annoys me personally how big, just how big Clark is compared to everyone. It's just so annoying. Like, it kind of feels like, you know how in JoJo everyone's big, right? But it doesn't bother me because everyone's big. Like, you look at the whole cast, they're just a bunch of big dudes, right? But then you have Clark just surrounded by like gnomes everywhere. It's just like it's just like, chill. Just like make him smaller. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
Again, like they can't tell like the one like you have literally the only two people in the world who are like 7 foot tall, and you can't even draw a connection from that.
Yeah, like it's.
To be fair, he's surrounded by people who are really short. Like Lois and Jimmy are both like pretty short.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Comparatively, but if you put him against like other guys, like the other news guy who's
The
mean.
tiger.
Yeah, or even like some like Lois's dad. He's like similar-ish height, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
the point with Vicky, I think that was kind of like the whole her going around like because she was specifically looking for dirt, so she was like ignoring all the good stuff. So that's the thing. Like, even if Superman like was doing his job correctly, like she would have still like went out of her way to find someone that was bad.
Right. Yeah.
But like I agree with some of your other like criticisms about that whole thing.
Yeah.
But by the way, did you know that Vicky is the reporter from like Gotham?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like, all
really?
the Batman stuff, yeah. So that was kind of like
okay.
Easter egg-y thing. Where it's like, it would make sense that her whole thing is like finding dirt on people and making them out to seem like awful people. Like she would do that with Batman and stuff.
I'm just picturing like an after credit shot, like an after credit scene where you just have Batman just brutally brooding over Vicky's article, and you just have like the whole like scene of like Superman getting hit by that truck just playing on repeat.
It's like that scene from the Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
I just realized that I think maybe like my subconscious dislike for Superman is like playing out through the characters that I find my favorite, because I like Mixie, and then I like Vicky also, and then there's Jimmy, who's his best friend, so I guess that negates it. But yeah.
But Jimmy's the only person who has sense in this universe, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main reason he stands out.
You say that, but he almost gets hit by a car episode, like a truck episode 1.
That's the
But
thing.
remember-
he knew he was like
Oh,
he
he
was
did know he was
Superman, so he
Superman,
knew
yeah.
he was gonna like.
Yeah, exactly. He's smart. Like he was just playing, he was just trying to, get Clark
man
out
was-
himself.
This man knew he had plot armor. He knew he had literal plot armor, and he was like playing it up.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised by if like in the season finale of this show, or the series finale of this show, they reveal that like Jimmy was just someone who came from another multiverse that just has like a base 100 IQ higher than this one. So like he just came in to have, to just to have fun in this little verse.
I mean, Jimmy normally doesn't have a good record. I mean, in the Snyderverse, he just gets killed immediately.
That doesn't because he has that airheaded vibe, but then like when you actually look at the things he does and the things he says, it's like, oh, okay, he's like very, pretty bright.
Like everything he was doing was just him trying to like get Clark to open up to him and tell him what's going on. He wasn't forcing it. He was playing 40 chess with this guy.
Oh, okay. This just reminded me a whole bunch of questions I had that I didn't write down for some reason, having to do with, because I remember I think it was both of you guys were like complaining about multiverse in general and like how that's overdone, or maybe I'm thinking about other people, but I think it was you guys. So how do you feel about that being like becoming definitely a thing now in Superman?
I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, and it's hard because I feel like 10 years in the past, I would have probably been down with it. But the fact that every freaking person is doing it and it only works like 2 out of 10 times has me so worried. I hate that so. It's literally the second season.
Wait,
why are you doing
what's
Invincible?
doing it? Say it again.
Invincible.
Oh, Invincible. Oh yeah, that's true.
I think as long as they don't overuse, like, this is a plot point I would expect them to bring up like way later on. But as long as they like don't use it a lot, and like this is like the only time we get to see like multiverse stuff, I think it's okay. I'm just gonna be annoyed if this is like a regular thing.
Like,
okay,
build out this universe before you start building out other ones. God dang.
Yeah, for me, it's like I like it, and the reason I can't tell if the reason is just because I really inherently like the topic of like multiverses and like aliens and that kind of thing, and I'm really just into that topic. So I just have like a high tolerance for multiverse things, or I can't tell if it's because I just haven't seen as much Marvel as most people, I think. So like I haven't gotten like I just haven't gotten fatigued from multiverse as much as other people. So
yeah,
Marvel has killed it. Has killed any kind of want for multiverse stuff. But like I think also what helps in this thing is they didn't just use the multiverse stuff just to be like reference. Here it served like a narrative purpose where it's like we have to get Lois to be like insecure about herself, be like question like Superman. We have to like introduce the idea of kryptonite to them because like how else are we going to do that organically? So like it did stuff, like it actually like, used the concept like in a like a bit more of an interesting way than just like here's references to Superman in all media like they normally would, like the Flash.
Speaking of an interesting.
I'll say this real fast. I will say I think this show handled the multiverse well. I think it handled it better than a lot of the other media, and I am not. Like I said, I am in full agreement with Matt's like views on this.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to mention?
I think I'm good for right now.
Yeah. I think that's it.
How would you rate the final 3 episodes in the series?
I would give it like a 4.5 or 5.
Dang. Okay, not too bad. I feel that. Makes sense.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 4.5 because I want to be harsh toward it because I feel like there should have been better animation than there was. I wanted to be wowed, and I wasn't wowed at any point.
You want them to abuse their animators like they do with the anime.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, only the best.
Suffer for my entertainment, god dang it.
Yeah.
I want to sleep. I want like proper working conditions. Ooh.
I want to unionize.
Draw your damn pictures, assholes.
This is coming from two animators,
Yeah.
too, everyone.
And a comic artist, yeah.
So we're allowed
So-
to make those jokes.
Yeah. So what would you guys rate it?
Okay, I would give... I think I want to give this a 8 out of 10, but I kind of want to give it a 7 out of 10. I think it was a really good show. I think it had a lot of really creative ideas, but I don't think it... The only thing that, like... I will say this, it made me like Superman, and that statement is the only, like, wow factor for the show for me. I think it's a very well-executed, standard superhero show, and that's why I have to give it a 7. It doesn't do anything that really breaks the mold, or it doesn't do anything that's like, man, I can only see that here and nowhere else. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for the entire series, and I'll give the last couple of episodes a solid 7.5.
Okay. Oh, I just realized I don't even know what if I rated the show or just these last 3 episodes. But it doesn't matter. I'll just say the whole show is a 5. Yeah. Sorry, Matt.
No, you're fine. This is a tough one too. I think they did something cool with the Superman genre and kind of like brought it back to what I think a lot of people will really like about it, just kind of being this really positive superhero show. And they did like stuff that was fresh enough with a lot of the concepts in ways that we haven't really seen before with Superman, but a lot of them still do follow that kind of generic superhero cartoon stuff. So I think I'm gonna have to rate the series overall also a 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I think I'm still really curious to see where this goes, and I hope they're able to kind of do some more creative stuff, especially with the designs and some of the animation stuff. Yeah, overall 7 out of 10. I'm not sure these last 3 episodes, maybe like a 7 or a 6.5, but my favorite parts of the earlier episodes were like the novelty of it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the season finale, like those last 2-3 episodes, could have used a little bit more like oomph, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
More spectacle.
Except I will say though, I mean, you guys saw it coming, but for me, the plot twist of the general being Lois's dad was like pretty big for me. So I was like, oh my god, wow, that's crazy. And I will say one more thing is, despite my review or whatever, I can definitely see how this show might be. I can imagine that this show is going to be like a very, I can imagine this show being like a classic for a lot of younger kids now who don't know anything about Superman. And like, this is probably going to be their introduction to it. And like, this is probably what they're going to compare future Superman stuff that they look into. They're probably going to compare it to this. It seems like a good show for that. And I feel like if I was younger, I would probably really enjoy the show.
Baby's first anime.
Yeah. But yeah, so any last final thoughts, guys?
I'm good on my end.
Okay.
I really one thing I was a little bit is kind of this is like a very personal taste thing, but Zod kind of being this like her I'm evil guy thing at the end. I don't know. I feel like there's like some directions of some of the villains. I feel like that could have been taken in an interesting way, but I don't really see it yet. Although I'm excited to see like what Brainiac is up to. But...
Oh heck yeah!
And I am curious about like this version having a Lex Luthor, which is weird to say.
I think it won't.
It might not. I think I don't know if they're gonna do Lex Luthor next season or not. But I mean, you might even be interested to like paint him in a good light next season and then have him kind of like utilize that. But
I would be down for a morally gray Lex Luthor. Because I know they introduced him this season, but I'm interested to see how they take him moving forward.
Well, him using this, because like his storyline kind of aligns with the generals in some aspects, where it's like he could really use the threat of Krypton as a way to like manipulate people and gain like control. But especially with a Krypton that's like more like with more emphasis on like Kryptonian stuff being evil. Like I feel
more
like
militant Krypton.
Like, yeah, militant and like clearly destructive. I feel like would be a good like place to slot him in at, like kind of being this fear mongering guy. But yeah, I don't know. I just hope they do something more fun with the villains next season.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, I could definitely. I also see that as an area for improvement. But okay, so yeah, that has been our review of Superman, My Adventures with Superman, episodes 8 through 10, and the whole season.
Our Adventures with Superman.
Yeah.
Yes, yours, mine, everybody's. Thank you for watching. Come back next time. We will be reviewing Jujutsu Kaisen. We'll just be continuing with the season.
Yep.
And bye.
Bye.
Take it easy. Bye.